In this video, we're going to talk about verb groups. We've used these two verbs, читать and говорить, as example verbs in the past. If you know their conjugation, then you will be able to equate a lot of other verbs that are similar to them. So let's look at their conjugation again, just to get it back in our mind. Читать. Я читаю. Ты читаешь. Он читает. Мы читаем. Вы читаете. Они читают. Говорить. Я говорю. Ты говоришь. Она говорит. Мы говорим. Вы говорите. Они говорят. Remember that читать is an example of the first conjugation, and говорить is an example of the second conjugation. If we look at some of our new verbs, we can see several that are like читать. So for example, завтракать, to eat breakfast, обедать, to eat lunch, or it's a big meal in the middle of the day, and ужинать, to eat a small meal at the end of the day, to eat dinner. If these are like читать, can you figure out how to conjugate them? If we have завтракать, to eat breakfast, я завтракаю, ты завтракаешь, они завтракают. Notice that if we use the я, ты, and они forms as reference, we can always figure out the others. Обедать, я обедаю, ты обедаешь, они обедают. Ужинать, я ужинаю, ты ужинаешь, они ужинают. We have several other verbs that are also like читать. Опаздывать, to be late. Принимать душ, to take a shower. Рассказывать, to tell a story. Опаздывать, я опаздываю. Ты опаздываешь. Они опаздывают. Принимать душ. Я принимаю душ. Ты принимаешь душ. Они принимают душ. Рассказывать. Я рассказываю. Ты рассказываешь. Они рассказывают. So all of these verbs have the exact same pattern as читать. They're all first conjugation verbs. We have a couple of other verbs that are very similar also to читать, but they are reflexive. We've seen заниматься before, and одеваться follows the same pattern. Can you figure out how they conjugate? Я занимаюсь. Ты занимаешься. Они занимаются. Я одеваюсь. Ты одеваешься. Они одеваются. Now we have a new example verb, the verb вставать, which means to get up. You should learn this as another one like читать and говорить, because there will be some verbs that you'll see that will follow this pattern. And what happens in the verb вставать? Notice that when we conjugate it, the ava that's in the middle of the verb goes away. Я встаю. Ты встаешь. Она встает. Мы встаем. Вы встаете. Они встают. You can see that after we start conjugating it, it's consistent in its forms. It's just a little bit different from the infinitive. The verb преподавать is also the same pattern as вставать. Can you figure out how it conjugates? Я преподаю. Ты преподаешь. Он преподает. Мы преподаем. Вы преподаете. Они преподают. Notice that this verb group, for which we're using вставать as an example, is also first conjugation, but a slightly different pattern than читать. Maybe slightly more similar to жить, since we have ёс instead of yes. Now now, if we take our verb говорить as the example of a second conjugation verb, we have two new verbs, верить, to believe, and курить, to smoke, which follow a similar pattern to говорить. Can you figure out how they conjugate? Я верю. Ты веришь. Они верят. Я курю. Ты куришь. Они курят. So notice that these are second conjugation verbs, which means that consistently they'll use I. And in the они form, they use at or yat. Now we also have another new example verb, любить. We've seen this verb a little bit in the past, but let's look at its full conjugation. Я люблю. Ты любишь. Она любит. Мы любим. Вы любите. Они любят. Notice that this is a verb that's somewhat similar to говорить. You can see it has the e's throughout, and it has the yat ending, like говорить does in они. One difference here is that in the ya form, we add an L, whereas the L doesn't come into any of the other forms. So this adds an L, but only in the ya form. We also have two verbs that are very similar to любить, the verb spать, to sleep, and the verb готовить, to cook or to prepare. Try conjugating those two verbs. Спать. Я сплю. Ты спишь. Они спят. Готовить. Я готовлю. Ты готовишь. Они готовят. So again, similar to любить, we had an L in the ya form, but not in any of the other forms. And now we have another verb, the verb чистить, to clean. It's somewhat like любить, in that it has a change in the ya form, but not in the rest. So if I give you the first two forms, see if you can figure out the rest. Я чищу. Ты чистишь. Then we get the rest of the forms. Он чистит. Мы чистим. Вы чистите. Они чистят. Let's look at the verb учиться, which we know from before to be a student. We've seen its conjugation, but let's review it. It's similar to говорить, but has slightly different vowels in the я and они forms. U instead of you and a instead of я, which are really considered the same sound. Я учусь. Ты учишься. Она учится. Мы учимся. Вы учитесь. Они учатся. If we have the verb ложиться, which is the same as учиться, it means to lie down, or to, sometimes we can use it to go to bed. Ложиться спать. Can you figure out its conjugation by equating it to учиться? Я ложусь. Ты ложишься. Он ложится. Мы ложимся. Вы ложитесь. Они ложатся. Remember that we choose between s and ся by looking at the end of the verb form. If it ends in a vowel, which happens with я and вы, then we use ся. If it ends in a consonant, like with all the rest, t, m, t, sh, then we use ся. So for now, we're using these 4 example verbs as verbs that you should know well, because as we go, when we encounter new verbs, I may tell you this verb is like говорить, or this verb is like любить. This means that it will be to your great advantage to know these 4 verbs especially well.